5 minutes. Alrighty, so last game, our first session. You guys, it's the year 2036. There's been a war between humanity and mutants. Humans won, mutants lost. Most mutants are either shackled with nullifier collars and put into internment camps or mutant ghettos, essentially enforced to labor. A few mutants whose powers are deemed to be non-offensive have been stripped of all basic rights. Again, live in the ghettos but have a slight degree more freedom. You guys are not the underpowered ones. You guys are, actual, X-Men level mutations. So you're on the lam, as it were, living kind of hand to mouth in the undercity of Hell's Kitchen. On the way back from scavenging some food, you guys were stopped by anti-mutant police, who are basically doing routine, your papers please sort of checks. When there was a lack of ID, the police tried to arrest you. Their stun weapons did seem to be very effective. But some quick thinking, Buzzkill managed to jam their comms, and Lodestone managed to magnetize some nearby metal to draw them and their armor to it, rendering them relatively ineffectual. But you decided that getting some IDs, even fake IDs, would probably be helpful. So Buzzkill went and met with a contact of his named Ruby, who has offered to fix you up with IDs and has arranged to meet you tomorrow to get some photos. She's like, you're not bringing anybody here to my place. So you've agreed to meet at a warehouse location, which is neither your home base nor hers, just in case. With some time on your hands, you decided that you were going to try to find the missing mutant named Olive Pierce, who's been in the news and is being actively hunted by Project Widewake. Her powers include short-range self-translocation and mass manipulation. She is deemed by the government to be a fugitive at large and highly dangerous. You haven't found anything on her yet, but you also decided to maybe check out Central Park, where there were rumors of, well, not even rumors, anybody who goes into the park ends up found in pieces on the borders as a warning. And you're like, how bad could that possibly be?
It's bad.
So when you went into to check it out, you were attacked by a nearly feral Wolverine, who wants nothing more than be left alone. He's kind of feeling the weight of having everyone he's cared about dead, and his powers prevent him from joining them. Some fisticuffs ensued before you managed to get through to him. To some extent, at any least, he is by no means friends, but he has agreed to let you live in the tunnels under the park, provided you don't bring any trouble to it. On the condition that you will find a way to let him die. While most of the group was dealing with Logan, Buzzkill was doing a grid search of the park just in case Olive had found her way here, thinking it was some sort of sanctuary. Didn't find her, but did spot two cloaked robots that were watching the park. And when he approached them and made himself known, they kind of nodded to him and simply turned away and made their way south. The robots, the players are aware that the robots are most assuredly Doombots. And that is where we left off. So you've got a couple things that you wanted to move your meager supplies to the new base at the park. You'll continue the search for Olive and meet up with Ruby to get your ID. So we will start things off with a little bit of a social scene.
What time of day is it?
By the time you guys dealt with Logan, it was evening when you were at the park. So we'll assume that you went back to your base to get some shut eye, and then so it's like morning. You have your breakfast of some instant oatmeal packets, maybe with water, maybe without. Uh, you know, Got to grab that calories however you can. But yeah, we'll say it's morning, and you guys have just woken up.
So we have half a day before picture time.
Yes.
Well, Buzzkill,
Yeah.
you've you've done us solid getting this ID thing set up, but does anyone know how I'm going to get across town to get my picture taken? Looking like this?
Carefully? I could shrink you down.
I think that's probably the smartest plan.
Thought we established that could be permanent.
Yeah, we did. I mean, if you can come up with another way, definitely come up with another way. But yeah, I mean, that's all I got, really.
Maybe through the sewers?
But yeah, that's way more fun than shrinking.
It's less permanent.
Hopefully.
Maybe. There's like a 0.5 chance, 1 in 200 chance that you're going to be stuck there permanently.
You're better at numbers than I am.
I pulled it out of my ass.
Oh, well, never mind then. I will try to keep that in mind in the future if you tell me something reassuring.
It might be worth taking time to get used to traversing the city through the tunnels.
I hate it when he makes sense.
Yeah, just gonna take the fun out of stuff.
And the good news is that the tunnels have all kinds of wires and piping and metal bits that I can use to protect us.
Sure.
And this way I don't get stuck being 3 inches tall. And given that I'm blue, I'm sure there would be Smurf jokes.
What's a Smurf, old man?
Not a clue.
I don't get this inhuman humor.
Right.
I'm not sure you can explain that.
What was that, Yerk?
Is Zurich having audio issues?
I think so.
Sounds like it.
Well, finding the fugitive mutant would be something we should perhaps look into as well.
Uh, because she needs help, or because there's something in it for us?
Because she needs help.
Okay, just clarifying.
Can barely hear you, Yorick. All right. So, what's your plan?
I did mention the Doom bots, right?
Yeah, to us, I think they're just robots, right?
No, I think Doctor Doom is famous.
Doctor Doom is very famous.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
Can you hear me better?
a monarchy where everybody, monarch dictatorship where everybody has jobs and gets fed and otherwise has freedom, as long as they don't cross the bars, might be a little bit better than what we got going on right now with democracy, don't you think?
Heard you a little bit better there, York.
Do you hear me better right now?
A little better, yeah.
Yeah.
I can crank your volume up. Yeah, try again.
How, how about now?
Much better. I just
Yeah.
pumped up your volume individually.
Probably the update of Discord that is doing it right.
Good old updates. Alrighty. So you do know that there are these robots that resemble the infamous monarch Doctor Doom, patrolling New York, at least keeping an eye on the park, and they didn't seem nonplussed when they saw Buzzkill.
Well, I don't think there's anything we can do about that, but does anyone perhaps have contacts in the city that might be able to help us find the renegade mutant? I could reach out to X-Force, but that is excessive.
I've got I kind of went through a underground mutant halfway house for kind of wayward teens, so maybe I could check with them.
Better than nothing.
It's worth a shot.
Well, we do have some time, so maybe we can pack our things and go via the tunnels to drop off those at the park and meet with your halfway house.
All right. Let's do so.
All right. Who is leading the way through the tunnels?
Probably Lodestone.
I'll be all electric-y so I can cast off a bit of light and not touch sewer water.
What's the roll for it, Chris?
I'm gonna say it would be.
Morlocks or Marauders?
Uh, let's call it a reason roll to kind of navigate your way through the sewers.
I'm sitting at incredible. Guess that's me.
Definitely not me.
Oof.
Ooh, 98.
98.
Red.
All right. I mean, the sewers are. They are wet, they are dank, they are very dark. I don't think any of you have any light generation powers.
Doesn't Buzzkill maybe?
You can shoot electricity, but
And I guess the important question is, where are you trying to get to in the sewers?
So I think the plan is to take our meager garbage that we live with now to Central Park to live with more bigger garbage. And then we're going to try to meet up with the halfway house for the mutants, the contact that Trev has. We're just trying to stay underground, obviously,
Did you
because
enjoy your
giant fucking
tour?
dragon.
Gotcha. Alrighty. So yeah, you travel through the sewers in the dark.
Can we make a torch or something?
Just
I don't like this.
Yeah, you're smart enough. You can easily cobble together a torch, spark up some electricity to light it. The biggest problem is traveling through the sewers. You have no real frame of reference. You can definitely get back to where you started from, but you're not entirely sure where you are. You do know that, like, you know, like, from where you were in Hell's Kitchen, Central Park is actually slightly kind of northeast-ish. On the surface, it's probably like 4 or 5 miles. Underground, with the twists and the turns and everything, you're not sure if you're at the park or not. But with that reason roll, you can definitely find your way back to where you started from.
I think this is something that we're going to have to deal with going forward. So, you know, I got incredible reason, fantastic intuition. I think it's worth, you know, getting practice in.
We need a map.
Making a map wouldn't be a bad idea. I'm sure I could draw one out of copper pretty easy.
So basically, you kind of pop your head up to take a look as to where you might be, just so you can, you know, kind of mark it on your map. So you're like, okay, this is where we started from. We went this far. We turned left. You know, getting your kind of analytical mind working on things very quickly. And then just like, okay, we gotta pop our head up, take a look around, figure out where exactly we are, just so we can pinpoint that on the map. You kind of like look, and there's a manhole cover, so you carefully kind of move it ever so slightly. And you're definitely in an area near the park. Take a kind of quick scan around. You're probably 4 or 5 blocks from the gate to Central Park.
And did we establish that there was an actual entrance in Central Park?
And there are tunnels under the park, yes. You don't know if they're connected to the sewer system or not.
We might as well try, right?
And give me an intuition roll.
Intuition. Okay, that is fantastic. Not that fantastic. Wait.
All right. So you're making your way through the tunnels, and slightly too late. You hear like you feel like a slight pressure against your leg, and then this mechanism kind of comes up from underneath the muddy water, catches you probably in the meaty part of the thigh, just full of just jaggedy metal bits and, you know, sharpened stones and stakes and all of that sort of stuff, inflicting 10 points of damage upon you.
Did we heal from last session?
Yes, you would have healed.
Bear trap?
More like a punji stick trap sort of thing.
I will swear and try to get my leg free.
Okay. It's not hard. I mean, you can use your magnetic to kind of pull the metally bits out, um, but it is definitely very sore. And given the fact that this trap was laying in the mucky, murky sewer water underneath Central Park with all the animals running free, that
Logan.
that may potentially be a problem later.
All right. So I'm going to use my magnetism, magnetic manipulation, and energy solidification to give myself a little bit of a body armor in case we run into this again.
Okay. Yeah, like shields up.
And yeah, I still think it's worthwhile. If we can master these sewers, it might take talents and karma, but if we can master the sewers, it gives us an advantage because sentinels don't fit here.
Very true. But yes, now that you're kind of on the lookout, there's been a couple more times when you encounter similar traps, but with your magnetic powers up and active, you can like sense the metally bits in them. But yeah, the sewers are definitely trapped and definitely look like homemade, the sort of thing that you would use in guerrilla warfare. And by your reasoning, you're probably within the confines of the park itself.
Probably the Wolverine setting traps.
Hopefully.
Well, if we can find our way up, let's try to find our way up.
Hey, one sec here.
Because I think he pretty much told us we're just going to live in the sewers, right?
Yes. It was like, you can live here in the sewers, don't bring any trouble, clean up your own messes.
Yeah. And there's a watering hole in the corner.
Yep. So yes, so you guys pull yourself up in the middle of the park. You know, birds are singing, insects are buzzing. You can hear wildlife moving around through the trees and the bushes. But it's fairly serene. So you now know, basically, you can get from your old base to the park through the tunnels.
Perfect. Call that a win.
Took you probably an hour or so.
As long as you don't
The
mind
farther
getting
away
sick.
we can get in the sewer to get to the home base, the better.
Great. So where is this orphanage of yours?
That's a very good question. uh, let's see. It would have to be hidden where people aren't looking. So it might be like in a probably an area that used to be Morlock tunnels that have been cleaned out by the current establishment, kind of abandoned and then reused. How's that sound, Chris?
Sure.
So it would have connections to the sewer tunnels as well.
Yep. I mean, you know where it is, and you know where the sewers are. You're not entirely sure how the two of those connect.
Right, exactly. But I've been there. I've been there. I've probably spent like 2 years there, so I know. I might not know all the new kids, but I would know the older kids, and I would know all the people that are working there. Uh, yeah. So I don't want to bring scary people with me. I'd rather go solo.
Well, I thought that perhaps we would again continue to map the sewers and get
All
you
right,
close, and then you could meet them on your own.
that sounds good.
Yeah, so that's what I thought. Getting close to there by the sewers seems like a good plan.
All right, so I can give them the address for as far as a street intersection from above.
Okay. So yeah, so you're like, Eighth Avenue and 21st Street sort of thing.
That's a little downtown. Let's put it up around Harlem. It's like 3 stories below the Apollo. Downtown, there's lots of construction and stuff. I don't think they'd put it there.
Okay. Right. And I will get everybody to give me an intuition roll.
Tuition. I don't know why I keep bringing up my sheet to try to roll.
I just want to see what my stat is.
Habit.
Yeah.
Yeah, 62 is probably okay. I hope.
I got a green.
I'm trying to figure mine out.
What's your intuition?
It's excellent. I'm just trying to find the. Ooh. I also have a green, almost a yellow, but not quite.
So
Shy.
so the two of you at the very least, and probably Buzzkill. You see a couple of blocks away from the park, kind of towering over the remnants, you see the telltale head of a sentinel.
Oh.
Is it a working sentinel?
Oh yes, it seems to be. It seems to be scanning the area.
Let's get out of the area.
Pip squeaks and hides behind Lodestone.
Lodestone stuffs her down the sewer tunnel.
I go down voluntarily.
All right, I am going to need you guys to make stealth roll sorts of things.
Agility, maybe?
It is agility. It is typical intensity.
I make it.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Sorry, you wanted a what of what?
What's your agility?
Remarkable.
Yeah, you make it automatically.
Okay. What's John's agility?
My agility is good.
All right.
Uh-oh.
You got to make a green.
Okay. So you need to roll a 51 or higher.
Good time for Kermit.
I'm gonna put some karma on that.
Okay. Oh, that's not bad. You do need to spend the minimum of 10 anyway, which is enough to get you a 52 and just barely squeak by.
Yee. Oh shit.
Magnus didn't close that fucking cover.
Oh,
Everybody be very quiet.
so you use your magnetism to close over the cover. And you guys can hear very heavy footsteps getting closer.
We should really get further away.
Doom, doom, doom,
Stop!
doom, doom.
Quit it! Don't! You're just making it worse.
We don't know how their sensors work at all, do we?
You do not.
There gonna lose his fucking mind.
I'm gonna softly touch the wall of the sewers, try to find a wire.
Okay. Yeah, there's some wires down here. There's some power that flows through the park.
I keep my hand on the wire just in case I need to skedaddle fast.
Okay.
I know this is a terrible idea, but I think it makes sense for us just to cower in place and hide, right? It would make sense.
Distance wouldn't hurt either.
We should leave.
It's not like they're going to be able to detect us. They detect mutants, right? It's like standing still is not going to make us less mutant.
We don't know if they can detect us through the ground.
What's above us? Because I know they've crashed through a lot of ceilings looking for mutants.
Above you is a sewer pipe, and then dirt, and then grass and trees.
And probably asphalt.
Yep.
Well, if nothing else, we should lead it, if it can see us, away from the park so we don't have a very angry Wolverine.
Indeed.
We're not supposed to attract trouble to the park, so I say we leave.
Or maybe they're not looking for us and they'll spot him and stupidly come in and he'll rip it apart again. Right? I mean, he's done it before.
Yeah, maybe if he doesn't know. Hey, if it's not our fault, we didn't bring trouble to him, right?
Exactly.
If a sentinel came by itself, it's just another sentinel.
They're far more likely to be here for him than us. They know he's here. They don't theoretically know we're here.
But that said, maybe he would need our help.
He's been doing okay. In case you hadn't noticed. There aren't Wolverine bits all over the park. There are Sentinel bits all over the park.
There's a very kind of like low rumbling sound in the, the ground and the walls of the sewer shake a little bit, and then the rumbling sound kind of like gets a little bit louder, and then a little bit quieter, a little bit quieter, a little bit quieter. Gone.
Yeah, that didn't break my heart at all.
Should we check to see if he's mad now or wait till we get back?
Definitely wait.
If we check now and there was shit, you'll know it was us. I say we check back when we come back.
It wasn't us. It didn't see us. We had nothing to do with it.
It seems likely, actually, but maybe we should carry on.
Sounds good.
So we're going to try to find the orphanage
Okay.
and hope that he's not coming after us.
Okay. So give me a reason roll, whoever is leading this. You only need to get a we'll say a yellow result.
Where are we going? This is to the.
In the vicinity of the halfway house / orphanage.
My reason's remarkable. Do you guys? What's yours, Tony? You're probably amazing or something.
Incredible.
Yeah, you do yours.
That's a 61.
Do you know where it is?
I'll spend the karma on that, Chris.
Okay.
Good thing.
Good thing.
So that'll be 26 karma.
Okay.
All right. So with Buzzkill providing you with at least the cross sections of the streets, it takes you a little bit of time. You realize that by the time you get there, you're going to be like really rushed to get to your appointment for your IDs. But you do kind of pop your head up in the empty. I mean, there's people going about their business, right? I mean, everybody's going to make a living, as it were. You don't see anybody that looks obviously like a mutant. You do see a couple people going about their business, like the local bodegas and stuff like that. But it's the sort of thing, like 3 or 4 buildings that are just ruined and absolute rubble, and then like a tenement slum house, and then like a little bodega, and a couple more ruined buildings. Like, the city has definitely suffered, and it's definitely very ghetto-ish. But it's New York. People pull themselves up and get back to it. And Buzzkill, you can see the building that kind of serves as the front for the halfway house.
Awesome. Do you want to get introduced, or shall we do our thing? Do you want to continue mapping or get introduced?
I mean, we're short on time. The rendezvous is almost up, so we better just scout out to make sure nobody gonna see us come out and get to it, I think.
The more they get to know us is probably better.
Really?
All right, well, let's go in. I'll introduce you around.
All right. So you guys kind of carefully make your way over to the thing. Lodestone kind of keeping to the shadows as best he can, giving his very non-human appearance. And yeah, it's a little kind of a squat building. Doesn't look too out of the ordinary from the outside. A couple of kids playing outside. As you get closer, you can see that the children are very obviously have very obvious but minor mutations. Like, one of the kids has like some skin flaps, probably gills of some nature on his neck. The little girl that he's playing with has, her limbs bend in an extraordinarily weird ways. The sort of thing that, they would be flagged and they would be registered, but they are not considered to be dangerous, so they don't have to wear a collar. And as you make your way in, it's very similar inside. It's a couple people playing some board games. All younger people. The anybody of probably about 15 and up is at work in one of the camps or one of the factories, or doing one of the enforced labor jobs that Fisk has. And then there's an older woman kind of sitting there. You can tell she's definitely seen better days. She's kind of sitting in a rocking chair, eyes asleep, eyes closed, asleep. Doesn't really notice when you enter in. Buzzkill, you recognize her as the woman that runs this particular halfway house.
What's her name?
Well, for that, I will find a name generator.
All right. And I will open the text editor.
Good news, it's not Jean Grey.
It is not. Her name is Mariette. And she looks like she's like at least in her 80s. Just kind of taking the opportunity to catch a little bit of rest.
So her name is Mariette.
Mariette.
Okay.
The kids and stuff that see you as you enter, they look for a minute and then they get back to playing their games, figuring, if you're here, obviously you're here for a reason. You're not kicking in the door and arresting anybody or anything of that nature. So they're a little bit guarded, but they don't panic or anything.
We are far too dirty to look like police officers.
After traipsing through the sewers for the better part of a couple hours, absolutely.
You are far too dragony to look like a police officer.
We're here to beg for help and food.
One of the kids, little boy, looks like he's maybe like 8 or 9. It's like,
Well, hey, Grant, let me introduce you to my friends.
we don't have any. Well, we have some food. He goes.
Oh, it's okay.
Sorry about that.
He goes.
I accidentally unplugged my headset.
Oh. He goes running over to the lady, kind of like, kind of gently shaking her. He's like, Miss Marriott, some visitors. She kind of sleepily wakes up. Says,
Hey, Graham, how you doing?
well, still kicking.
Probably just as hard, too. Let me introduce you to my friends.
I didn't know you had friends.
I know, I'm surprised, too. Don't make me look bad in front of the freaks.
And she kind of gingerly gets out of her chair, like, hobbles over, like, kind of looks at you, and as she looks at the three of you, it feels like she's looking into your soul. It's like,
Hello, miss. Sorry, hope we're not too much of a bother.
Oh, no bother. Door's always open for people in need. And you smell like you're in need. Oof.
There's others in more need than we are, and that's why we're here.
We take the path that we can, looking like we look. It has some side effect, let's say.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, better safe than sorry, but whew. Like, if you can't afford like a bath. Um, Sometimes in some of the old buildings, in the janitor closet, you can find these things that they used to put in the urinals, and just like slap those under your armpits. Because
I'll remember that.
trust me, because anything is better than this.
We all do what we must
The
to
men with the entrance.
survive.
I think they are.
I thought your kind all like left and went to like the moon or someplace. So nice to see you though.
Most of them have. I've chosen to stay.
Well, I'm sure people appreciate that, or they should.
He's
They
the reason
don't
we had to
seem
take
to.
the tunnels.
Well, just be careful in the tunnels.
Honestly, I'd rather take the tunnel and have Lodestone with us than the other way around.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, there's safety in numbers. That's sort of our whole mantra here, really.
That's a bit why we came to see you. We heard about someone who might be running away from the force right now, and we wanted to give her a hand. Wondering if you heard anything, like a place for us to start looking for her.
Yeah, if there's somebody in need, I haven't had anybody new come through here, not for a couple of months now. But you might want to check. You might want to check, maybe check the market. I mean, if somebody's on the run, they're going to need supplies. Otherwise, they're not going to get too far. That might be your best bet. I mean, and you're already used to the sewers, so there is that. They're located down by the river, so it's a little bit on the damp side. They move around frequently, but that's where they are now. It's probably the only place where somebody, on the run would not get turned in instantly. Be able to pick up some supplies there. I'm assuming if you're looking for the one that's in the news, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Piers? Something Piers?
Yeah.
Olivia.
Yeah. If I was a young lady on the run, I would stock up as best I could and then head for the border. If she's not already across the border, I mean, the news reports say that she's got telolocation powers, but they can't be very strong if they're still looking for her here in the city. So I'd stock up and then head for the border.
Well, our concern is that the Sentinels will find her before
Oh, it's Smith.
we can lend assistance.
Yeah, definitely. I'd ask around there, see if anybody's seen her.
The market, then.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're going to be down by the river for the next couple of days, unless they get found out, and then they plan to move again.
All right, that's a good idea. Anything we can do for you? Do you want us to pick up anything in the markets or anything out there that you're sorely lacking? I'd like to carry my weight.
We can always use food. We can always use water. We can always use batteries. We can always use medicine.
All right, we'll keep our eyes open. You wouldn't have any of those fake or non-functioning collars, would you? It's kind of hard to keep to move around above the sewers without them.
No. If we were caught with anything like that, that would be horribly bad for us. We skin by the fact that, as far as anyone knows, the folks that make use of our services are registered and legal and non-dangerous.
All right. And I kind of wink because I'm definitely dangerous.
That's why, as far as anyone knows.
All right, we'll head down, and I'll be back with a care package as soon as I can scrub one together.
All right. Well, thanks. The pleasure meeting you. If you do find anything that you can't use for your own well-being, we can definitely use it here.
We'll do our best.
Right. And I'm glad Buzzkill's found some friends. You seem like decent folks.
Pip looks a bit skeptical.
Well, we should make it our appointment and then hit the market, perhaps.
Yeah, we should wash up before the appointment too. I hate getting class photos looking like this.
All right.
Right. I got some wash basins here if you guys need to wash up.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it.
So you guys get a chance to kind of wash up some of the sewer stank. While you're doing, she brings out some little stale but homemade baked goods.
And I missed this. You're the best, Graham.
I thought you and your friends would appreciate. It's not much, but
It's food that didn't come out of a can. That's automatically better than anything I've had in the past 2 weeks.
some of it did. Oh,
Some of the stuff that we're eating out of a can, I don't know if you can count as food.
no, probably not. If you ever come across any canned peaches, though,
I will definitely save my share and bring them to you.
I've been scripting and saving to make up a cobbler. So
I'll just save me a slice. I'll bring you some peaches.
all right. But yeah, so you guys have some nourishment and get all cleaned up. By the time you realize that taking the sewers to the location for the ID photos, probably not in the cards.
Here we go. Now, I think last session we made fake collars, or I made me a fake collar.
You did.
Tracy.
And we're going to get fake IDs, so we kind of have to roll the dice here, guys.
Well, let's roll the dice. That's why we play these games, right? Why would you play a superhero game in a in this kind of hellscape if we weren't going to take risks?
Alrighty. So making your way through the streets and the back alleys and everything to your appointment. Nothing untoward happens. You manage to avoid like the main routes that police would patrol, and you don't see any sign of any sentinels. And you arrive at a fairly intact warehouse. And you can see that there's a couple of like local gang members kind of keeping watch outside.
That seemed weird to anybody else.
I'm not sure. This is Buzzkill's contact, so
Anyone you recognize over there, Buzzkill?
Do I?
Vaguely. I mean, Rose. Is it Rose? Check my notes for NPC names. I believe it was Rose. She's known to hire on local people. You know, everybody's trying to make a buck here and there. So, you know, it's not unlike her to have some security.
And this is the middle of the day, right?
It is.
So yeah, Lodestone's trying to stay the hell out of sight.
I'll go in solo and wave you in if everything's good. If not, you'll hear a lot of electricity and shocks and lightning and me trying to beat it out of there with in the air if possible. So it'll either be okay or you'll hear screaming and electricity.
It'll either be all right and quiet or absolutely horrible.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
exactly.
All right, if that's what you think is best.
So yeah, so as you start to approach the two gang members, kind of like look at you, look at each other. Say, place is occupied.
I have an appointment.
And he like pretends like he's looking at a sheet of paper. He's like, "Is your name on the list?"
It's class photos day.
Oh, I see right here. Oh yes. It's like, come on in. Did you bring everybody? She says to expect 4.
4?
Yeah, aren't you supposed to be bringing some friends?
Yeah, okay. And mind if I? Yeah, my friends are a bit skittish though. They're not big and tough like me. Do you mind if I just take a look in, make sure everything's okay, and then I can wave them in?
Yeah, definitely. Go right ahead.
All right, so I'll do so.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, it's Rose is there. She's got what looks like a fairly old, almost like a Polaroid camera.
All right. Hey, be right back, and I'll go wave the. It's give them the all clear sign.
Okay.
And we'll follow.
Okay. So yeah, it's definitely a warehouse. Looks like it's possibly still partially in use. Some of the crates are still intact at the very least. There's a, you know, well, describe what Rose looks like there, Trevor.
Rose, did you decide how old she is?
She's probably like in her 40s.
In 40s. Um, I'm gonna picture her as like a in her 40s Chinese lady. Who's kind of skinny but tough as shoe leather and puts up with no shit from anybody. Got a bun in the back of her hair. Got her hair up in a bun, wearing glasses, and kind of spends a lot of time in her fingernails, kind of thing. Spends a lot of time on makeup and fingernails, and just just a tough downtown. Started at the bottom, worked clawed her way to where she's at. First generation immigrant.
It's like, all right. So you guys are the ones looking for ID, right?
Absolutely.
Perfect. Well, fortunately for you, our mutual friend here has already paid for this quite generously, I may say. So I just need to get some photos.
We have a mutual friend.
She kind of gestures at Buzzkill.
So I'm gonna have to turn you up, Anita. I didn't hear what you said.
I said we have a mutual friend.
Well, I'm assuming he's your friend because he paid fairly handsomely for IDs, and you don't do that for people you just met.
Don't let it go to your head, guys.
Honestly, doesn't matter to me either way.
Well, we might as well get this over with. That was for Anita.
God.
Not that it matters anyway.
They're gonna make you read stories at the orphanage, you know.
I can't wait. I'm gonna contact Samantha and figure out what book annoyed you the most when she was like 7.
How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Yeah, well, that one annoys me too, so we'll do that one.
Good night, Moon.
I have read that book probably 2,000 times.
Everybody boops.
All right. So you guys are kind of ushered in. Who wants to go first?
You're up, big guy.
All right.
All right.
Where should I stand?
Oh, doesn't matter. I'm just gonna kind of shoot you from like the kind of shoulders up sort of thing, like good shot of your face. That's what they want to see on these ID things. I mean, you're not the strangest guy that I photographed, not by a long shot. I mean, you have a muscular structure and bones, so.
And your clothes on.
And your clothes on. So. All right. So, just these photo IDs, we paid extra, so they'll match your biometrics as well. So they'll appear as legitimate ID. The fact that you don't have a collar means that they're going to assume that you are non-dangerous. So try to play that up if you have to.
You're very, very not dangerous.
Just be warned, some of the tech that's out there now is not only able to scan your genetic sequence to see if you're a human superior or Homo superior or Homo sapien or not, but some of it can also relatively gauge potential power level. So, run-of-the-mill street cops, this will probably pass muster. But if you draw too much attention and somebody checks your badge and scans you, they may realize that you are or are not. I don't know. Maybe you guys. I don't know. Maybe your mutation is that you can make things taste like vanilla. I don't know, and I don't judge.
I wish.
Too.
Just as a forewarning, though, that some of the folks out there are able to kind of gauge your potential threat level. So, do not. These are not a get out of jail free card. These are a skirt the boundaries of the law slightly cards.
Understood.
Perfect. All right. So she takes load son's picture, and the camera, like I said, it's like an old Polaroid camera, and it kind of like clicks and whirls and makes like a horrible kind of grinding noise. And then rather than the Polaroid picture coming out, it actually prints out like a plastic laminated ID card.
Well, that's very interesting.
Well, yeah, it was a gift from an old friend of mine. Right. So she hands it over, and yeah, it does. I mean, you've seen some ID cards, and it looks pretty spot on, even to your superhumanly enhanced intuition.
All right, let's get this over with.
And so she also takes the pictures for all the rest of you. Same thing. Click, whir, grinding noises, ID card. And then she reaches into like a little kind of beat up attache case, and pulls out these like letter R's, like red letter R's, probably about 4 inches tall. She's like, You're going to want to stick those onto your jacket. Just shows that you're R for registered.
Registered, right? Yeah.
So,
Ew.
yeah, no sense in having the ID if you don't have, all of the things.
All the decorations that go with it.
This looks really good. You do a heck of a job.
That's what they pay me for.
Boy, howdy.
So is there anything else I can do for you? Anything else you guys are in need of? Anything else that you're looking for?
You got peaches?
I'd have to check back at the shop for that. I didn't bring everything with me. I mean, I can take a look for sure.
Yeah, I said I'd keep my eye out for canned peaches if you can find any. I might even get you a slice of homemade peach cobbler if I manage to score enough.
I will keep my eye open. I mean,
Mind if I ask a question?
no, go right ahead.
I assume you deal with a bunch of scavenger around. If we wanted to do some scavenging ourselves, is there any zone we should like definitely avoid?
Um,
I think it's called New York.
yeah, that. Everybody. I mean, a lot of places have been picked over already. I would generally advise if you see somebody's there already, maybe don't shit on their parade.
Makes sense.
I don't think nobody's really staked out. I haven't seen anybody anywhere that's like, this is mine, don't come here. Most people go in, grab what they can, and leave. I'd be careful around some of the the dangerous stuff that's out there. I mean, whatever's left of the Baxter Building or Stark or Shield HQ or anything like that, there's probably dangerous shit there. I'd watch out for that. But yeah, nobody that I know of has laid claim to anything. Everybody just kind of takes what they can carry.
No one's in control of Stark Tower or the Baxter Building.
Not that's nobody's gone like, hey, I'm living at the Baxter Building now. Nobody's told me that. I've seen some pretty cool stuff come by that people have pulled out to some of the buildings, but I don't think anybody's like, bedding down there.
Unlike the park.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, don't go to the park.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember once I was being chased by the cops because, cops. So I skirted really close to the park, and apparently they heard something and decided to investigate. It's a great trick if you can pull it off, but I don't think they're going to fall for it anymore.
Good to know.
Make sure though if you do hit any of those high value targets, be on the watch out for like Fisk's boys. I mean, they probably got them staked out and claimed taxes or city improvement fund or whatever bullshit they got going now.
City improvement fund.
Well, the infrastructure could use a little work.
Yeah, certainly could.
Here's an idea. They could defund the police and put all that money into, I don't know, anything.
Yeah.
Water. Water'd be nice.
Oh, I mean the non-mutant folks have water. They got water plenty. Fisk takes good care of them.
Fuckers.
Well, I mean, it's easier to pay your tithe to the Lord when you have an income.
Yeah.
So.
Any chance you could find us a couple of tools eventually?
I got a shitload of tools. What do you need? Hammer, screwdriver, planer. Got a really nice
Soldering iron, multimeter.
soldering iron. I can do a multimeter. I'd have to check at the shop. I don't know offhand. I know I've got the basics though, like soldering, screwdrivers, drills. Probably got a couple of battery packs for them kicking around.
Well, drill, hammer, that'd be a good start for me. And my friend really needs a soldering iron and a couple of more precise tools like that.
Yeah. I can put together like a toolkit for you. Just let me know what you got to trade for it, and we'll make a deal.
Perhaps we could trade in
Okay.
copper.
Either or. Wow.
Copper still has a value, I think.
Wow.
Can't eat it. I could probably trade it to somebody, so it might be worth something. But any excess goods or food or anything that you have, I can easily see my way to trading for that.
Or more precious metals, perhaps.
Not really. The more useful something is, the more value it has. That being said, if somebody was to come across, extra weaponry from police patrols or something that they were no longer needing, I know some people that can use that sort of stuff too. I mean, I'm not saying you look like the sort of folks that would cause trouble with the police, but if you do happen to come across such a windfall, let me know.
I mean, some of the times fall out of trucks or we find things laying around. We'll be in touch.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really about it. I mean, Buzzkill knows how to find me if you need to, so.
Well, I guess all we can really ask is for you to keep track of, or your eye open for peaches.
Sure. And if
And a soldering gun.
Yeah, the soldering ring I know I have. The multimeter, I'll take a look.
Oscilloscope,
typically what you
spectro
wanna do when
analyzer,
you,
Go see real birds.
Yeah, now you're getting all
Or you-
fancy and shit.
You're just making shit up now, aren't you?
I have to call a planet that's not even in our galaxy. So
So anyway, I'm gonna get going now.
right.
Yeah, we have someone lost we need to try to look for.
Oh, the girl on the news?
Yeah, you know where she is?
I don't know where she is now. I set her up with an ID like a day or so ago. Nice young lady. Skittish. Real skittish. But, I mean...
I would be too in her position.
So, not a real trusting sort.
We'd like to give her a hand if we can.
Well, if she contacts me for anything else, I'll let you know.
Did she
Mine's
say
a-
where she was going?
No, she...
Would you tell a stranger where you were going?
Yeah, I mean, there's a certain level of trust that comes when you're, engaged in a mutually beneficial trade arrangement. But that does not, like, I'm not even telling you folks where my shop is. He knows he can get a hold of me. I don't expect you're going to go like, oh, if you need to get a hold of us, we're living, and give me your address.
I don't have any more business. So, yeah,
So,
I don't need a modulated chiropractor.
if I find a modulated chiropractor, I'll let you know.
I'm sure he
Appreciate
can
it.
use it. I'm sure Lodestone can use it to contact his people in a galaxy far, far away.
On another planet. I mean,
On another planet.
to be fair, you, no offense, but you look like you come from another planet, so.
Is he
No.
eating an apple?
Right.
Oh, he's a
Technically.
noble from the moon. Or something. I don't know. I keep forgetting.
If
Definitely
they were
noble, though.
still on the moon, it would be much easier for us to contact them.
And he's absolutely not an action figure.
No, he's a little bit big for that. Do you guys need me, like, do you want me to grab, like, some of the scraps of tinfoil that I have? You can make little hats.
No, we're good. Thank you for all your help. I'll contact you next time I have some pretty good goods to trade.
It would not match the picture, so I'm gonna stay like this.
Just keep an eye out for save some peaches for me if you find some.
Will do.
All right, and then yes, I'll. And he reaches out for tinfoil. Yeah, I'll take tinfoil.
All right. So she will. She'll leave. She'll take her her guards with her. And you guys
Well,
are left alone in the
Market, I
west.
suppose.
What do you think of that, guys?
I think I'm glad we only have to do it once. Hopefully. She seems nice and all, but
She's a crocodile. Be careful with her.
On the ID, Buzzkill.
over at Lodestone. Look back at Buzzkill. Look over at Lodestone. Back at Buzzkill.
I
She's a
am
crocodile.
not a crocodile.
Okay. Not a crocodile, not an action figure.
But yes, still a noble.
Don't think we have those here.
Can we find Miss Pierce?
Maybe.
Yep.
I guess we're going
Yep.
to the market.
Yep.
We're gonna try.
Okay. All right. So you make your way. Are you taking the sewers or are you sticking to the streets?
Oh,
I
we've
mean-
got ID now.
We got new ID. Might as well test it, right?
Yeah. It's the whole reason we picked it up.
Who had the illusion powers to kind of make us look like we're wearing collars? I guess we don't want to look like we're wearing collars, do we?
Oh, we're registered now.
Then we're supposed not to be
Just put our
dangerous.
pins on or badges or whatever there are.
Yeah.
Right. So I can ditch the collar and just we're doing the hey, we're really, really weak mutants, even though I'm 7 feet tall.
He's 7 feet tall and weak.
Can't you just
I'm
make
a-
him like 4 feet tall?
I could, but he gets really weirded out by the whole maybe it'll be permanent thing.
Well, 4 feet tall isn't too bad.
Apparently, a 4 foot tall dragon noble isn't as scary as one that's 7 feet tall, and he likes being scary. I know I like him being scary.
I like being me
And when
because
he's 7
there's
feet tall,
nothing wrong with me.
he's much easier for me to hide behind. I could make him 5.5 feet tall, and then I could still hide behind him. But I think he'd still get really kind of twitchy about it. And you're right. There's nothing wrong with you. Except that you're not a plain bred human. But I mean, neither are we, so fuck it.
Well, my parents looked like you.
That's the weird part.
Mutations take many different forms. Mine different than yours. Mine was caused by pterogenesis, not by accidents or fate. Regardless.
Random. It was a Tuesday. Who knows? Who cares? It doesn't matter. I mean, really, they're going to hunt us down and try to kill us regardless, so fuck it. But yeah, I could make him 5.5 feet tall, and he would have an easier time walking around, but then he couldn't reach stuff on the top shelf. And who else is going to do it? And she'll look at Lodestone and
Let's just
smile.
let's just go to the market.
Maybe they'll have peaches or olives.
All right. So you make your way through the city streets, more openly than you're used to, having some degree of confidence because of these ID cards.
Very small degree.
A very small degree. But you do get the opportunity to kind of go through kind of like a checkpoint as you kind of go from like one kind of neighborhood to another. So like as you go from Hell's Kitchen into like the next neighborhood over, there's like a little police checkpoint. And you guys can present your cards. Uh, 41 on typical is nowhere near red. So they look at the cards, they look at you, like, they mutter some, like, disparaging, like, anti-mutant remarks under their breath sort of thing. But they hand you back your ID and say, keep going.
Nice. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. The one that you call sir practically like spits on your, on your shirt.
Yeah. Okay.
But it seems like the IDs hold up to at least like conventional police scanning.
He's lucky I can't just target one body part.
You can actually, if you want to. You have to be able to see it. You have to be able to see it.
Ew.
It has to be within one area, and you have to make a yellow feet roll.
So tempting. It's the have to see it part.
How's
It's
your
like,
hero
no,
points?
no. Okay, right now, but probably not after I shrink some body parts.
Hey, if he's got a piercing,
Ouch!
we can make that visible very quickly.
Oh! Ow! Ew.
Alright. So you make your way through the streets. Of course, I actually have a map with the river on it, but apparently not this one. But you make your way towards the Hudson River, and you can see kind of like scrawled amongst the graffiti on the ruined buildings. There's fresher markings that Lodestone you can pick out with your intuition are almost like old time hobo symbols that are sometimes used by members of the Mutant Underground and X-Force and stuff to kind of like direct people, kind of hidden amongst the graffiti and the sprawls and stuff.
Okay.
And following those leads you to literally an underground market.
Like literally underground?
Literally underground. And yeah, as you kind of go, and it's like a offset of the basically part subway tunnel, part like old ferry terminal that's collapsed, and amongst the rubble and the ruins, probably like the basement of a parking garage, are these little tents and stalls set up, and some very obviously mutant folks selling a wide variety of wares. Canned foods, clothing, tents, heating supplies, generators, anything that you might need to survive off the grid sort of thing, all kind of spread out amongst these various stalls. There's probably like 30 or 40 people down here. I'm just not going to throw 30 or 40 tokens on the map.
Right.
But yeah, it's a pretty bustling thing. It's probably the most people acting freely that you've seen together in quite some time.
All right. Well, I'm gonna. Guess we'll just keep our eyes open.
Okay.
I'm looking for Peaches and a blonde-haired woman on the run.
Peaches and olives.
I mean, we might as well, while we're here, look for the things we're looking for, like a generator and stuff like that. I got a couple of things I can trade, and if we are trading and getting stuff, it might be easier to get information about the woman we're looking for.
Yeah, folks are more likely to talk to people who are doing business with them.
All right. So you're looking around, and like I said, there's a variety. You don't see any specific peaches, but there are some canned goods, which would be a poor intensity resources feat to pick up.
And I'm at excellent right now. So poor would be automatic.
Poor is automatic, so yeah, you've got enough kind of scrap and junk that you can trade to get like probably about 4 or 5 days worth of food for everybody.
All right. We'll call that 4 and 1 day worth of like canned fruit for the halfway house.
Perfect. And I will point out at this point that if you guys want to pick up things for the halfway house and donate them, that is worth karma.
Yeah, I'm donating a day's worth of, well, a day's worth for the
Okay.
of canned fruit. Because I want a slice of that pie.
Perfect. So the way karma works for charitable donations is whatever the rank is for the stuff that you pick up is how much karma you get.
So what, 3?
It would be 4 actually for poor donation.
All right.
But so like you say you like pick up like an excellent intensity's worth of stuff, then you would get 20 karma for that. There is a generator if you want one. The generator is an excellent value.
I mean, if we had electricity, it would up our game a bit. I think it's worth a try. I'm also at excellent resources right now.
Okay.
I don't know what I need as a role to get an excellent for an excellent.
Yellow.
You need yellow.
71.
I will point out. Does anybody else have good or better resources?
I do.
No, mine are only typical.
All right. So you can assist because you're within 1 rank of him.
Sure.
Actually, so yeah, anybody with good or better can assist. So that will give him +1 column shift, pushing it up to remarkable, and that means he only needs to get a green result.
All right. I'll assist.
Okay.
I have a lot of things, but resources is not one of them.
I'm gonna spend karma on it.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of things, and resources is not one of them.
Ooh.
Oh, 13, and you need a 41. That's a 28 karma.
Well, at that point, might as well.
Okay. And then those of you that bought stuff can also give me another resource roll. Just a flat roll. You can't spend karma on it.
Just get into the chat.
Yeah.
Ha ha!
Okay. You're good. You're not overextended your stash.
I wish I got a bonus for that. That's a hell of a roll.
And a 39 under excellent. So your excellent resources drop down to good. Basically, you guys had to trade away quite a bit, but you do have a fully functional generator now.
Is there anyone with like a services tent? Like, is there anywhere that are is anyone here offering their services for sale?
There's people that are willing to offer, like, hey, do you need do you need your, like, something heavy moved? There's a guy who's fairly muscular. No specific services, but there's people who are willing to negotiate doing things for pay. So it's not like there's somebody offering like a maid service or like a driving service or something.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of people with, like, will work for food signs.
And the folks here are mutants, right?
Yes, they are, all of them.
Are they all tagged like we are right now?
No, they are not all.
Okay.
So to Lodestone, I mean, the fact that there are some mutants who are very obviously are not registered, not wearing collars. There's probably a few dangerous people here. There may even be members of X Force here. It's like an assortment of mutants, registered and non-registered, collar wearing and non-collar wearing.
Okay. Good to know.
And other than that, it's like, your old timey swap meet sort of thing. People are telling stories and sitting around the fires and eating whatever sort of food that they've managed to gather up. Or and Lodestone would definitely notice. Amongst the crowd, you can see a very kind of skittish looking young girl, kind of like, cloak up, blonde hair kind of peeking up from behind it. To your fine intuition, she looks very nervous. And a couple of times you see her kind of like, waiting until somebody's not paying attention to their stall, and she'll, like, grab a can of food here or something there, sort of thing.
All right. So Tony, did you catch that?
Yeah, sorry, I had to go AFK for the dog.
Yeah, no problem. Did you catch what he just said? We found the girl. She's kind of stealing stuff when people aren't looking.
Okay.
She looks like that.
All right.
Yeah. And as you're kind of watching her there, Lodestone, you do see there's a part where, like, she's like making a grab for something, and she kind of fumbles it a bit, and as she kind of attention gets drawn to her, suddenly she's no longer where she was, and just your like fast acting mind catches her like across the way.
Lodestone has sleight of hand, so he knows how to steal stuff.
Yeah, she very obviously does not.
Oh, okay.
She has no sleight of hand, and she is not terribly coordinated.
How do we want to approach this particular problem?
All right.
Carefully. Maybe not a big noble dragon.
I mean, carefully. We want her to know we're here to help and not scare her away, but and not attract attention to her, because it's probably the last thing she wants.
I'm gonna go buy a couple of sandwiches and a couple of drinks. I assume there's like a hot dog stand or something like that around.
Well, there's meat.
Yeah, some whatever, like whatever vendors selling stuff you can eat while you're walking around.
I mean, that's a hot dog anyway, right?
It's meat on a stick. Don't ask more about it.
Good old meat on a stick.
All right, 2 of those and 2 drinks.
Crab juice or Mountain Dew. That's all we have.
There you go. So
I'll take the rat juice.
those various figures are just like random NPCs. Right. So you're making your way over towards her.
Oh yeah, nonchalantly without actually looking at her, just with a.
Okay. She does seem to notice you approaching. She kind
All
of
right.
backs up a little bit.
So I'll give her a wink and hold up the meat on a stick and say, just kind of shrug my shoulders and so, you want to kind of give the nod as like, hey, do you want to split this?
She looks at you for a moment.
Can I make it like a persuasion or something like that?
You can make a popularity roll.
Ah, but I'm negative 20.
Yep. So it's basically treated as though you had excellent. As though you had excellent popularity. It's just you need to get when you have negative popularity and you're interacting with people. In this case, she has no idea who you are, so you need to get a yellow result, regardless of whether you're trying to intimidate her or persuade her or whatever. It's just she is
Alright.
very wary.
Right, I am going to spend karma on this one, and I just want to make her think that, I'm just absolutely friendly. Just a
Okay.
guy walking around wants some company kind of thing. Not like I'm picking up a hooker or anything. It's just hey, just you look like you're by yourself. Look like I'm by myself. Why don't we kill a couple hours just wandering around kind of thing?
Okay. Just give me 1 second here, because there's going to be some modifiers.
No problem. I rolled a 75.
Yeah, I think Chris was saying that there's like your negative is a positive if you're known
Yeah.
to the.
Yeah, basically when you're interacting with other mutants who know you, it's treated like you had positive, but the negative is when you're interacting with like anybody who doesn't know you.
Right.
Sure. So it'd be we'll call it an even. She's not unfriendly or hostile, so she is neutral. So you need to get a yellow result.
I rolled a 75.
So only 10 karma.
I will
Not
take
bad.
it.
Okay.
I updated my sheet.
So yeah, we'll say you guys are like there. She kind of comes forward. She very gingerly. She like reaches out. She's like, thank you. I haven't eaten for a while.
No problem. No problem. And I hand her the drink too. And then kind of lean over. Whisper over to her. I saw you on the news. Are you okay? Do you need some help? I know some people.
As soon as you say that, you know some people. She kind of gets this look in her eyes. And you see her eyes start like kind of scanning around. What are the rest of you doing?
Looking at me like I'm an idiot.
I'm smiling harmlessly when she looks my way.
I'm trying to trade for some tools.
I mean, Lodestone has nothing he could do here. He's just kind of standing there looking as small as he can. It's just not very small, but.
I could fix that for you. You could walk around offering to get things off of the top shelf for people.
Right.
No?
I'm going to throw
Probably
you into the
sacred.
river
Well,
from here.
Not if you
That would
can't.
help with the sewer smell.
I don't know. I think the river smells almost as bad.
the main question is, are you guys keeping an eye on them or not?
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, I am absolutely.
I mean, Lodestone can keep an eye on everybody here all the time, so because everyone's in slow motion.
I was not specifically taking attention. I didn't spot her, so
Okay. There we go. All right. Oof. All right. So, as you mentioned that you have friends, and you mean it, kind of innocently, but her eyes kind of dart around, and she notices now that Lodestone and Pip are watching, and she kind of like gets that kind of deer in the headlights sort of look. She's like, I'm not going back, and she just kind of brushes your arm, and I need you to make a either psyche or endurance feat, your choice.
I will take endurance.
And it is.
My endurance is excellent.
Oh, you cannot make this roll.
Well, my psyche's typical, so I couldn't make that one either.
Yeah, it is incredible intensity.
All right. So what'd you do to me?
She increases your weight by 40 times.
40 times. So I go from like 140 to like 560.
No, you go from about
5,060.
yeah, you go from like 140 pounds to 2 tons.
Doesn't that shatter everything in my body?
Well,
Oh no.
so, you, if you want to do anything, you need to make a. Oh, you can't. Your endurance is too low.
All I want to do is say, "Hey, we're on your side. We're on the run too."
So performing any physical action while under the effects of this power requires an endurance feat. Lasts for 1 to 10 rounds after she touches you. And incidentally, each round you need to make that roll or you fall unconscious. Once you're unconscious, you need to make a second endurance feat or you begin to lose endurance ranks at the rate of 1 rank per round.
I'm thinking I'm losing endurance feats here.
Basically, the sudden shift in your weight just crushes all of your internal organs.
Well, I went down fast.
So yeah, you guys see you see her kind of panic. You see her look. Lodestone, you notice she looks right at the two of you. Kind of gets this look and just like lightly brushes against Buzzkill. And you see he just kind of collapses under his own weight, and the ground underneath him cracks and buckles. What would you guys like to do?
I'd like to roll for initiative.
I look really worried.
I'd like this tool for half the price.
Well, what do you have to offer? Yeah, you seem like a decent guy. Tell you what, you give me that, and the other thing there, and we'll call it even.
Awesome. John is completely obvious of what is happening right now.
I just gotta find her initiative bonus, because I did not write that on her character sheet. There we go. Let's see. She gets an 8 for initiative. All right. Actually, we should have done declarations first. I keep forgetting that. But you guys are up.
Right. Yeah. What's she wearing, Chris?
Oh yeah.
She's wearing just looks like some pants that she dug out of a dumpster, like an old band T-shirt. Just like
No belt, no.
looks like she's got like at this distance across here. You can't really tell it. You don't know if it's a belt or if it's just like a sash. You don't know if there's any metal in it or not.
Okay. Oh, so we have to declare, right?
Yes.
Really don't want to attack her.
I'll be back in a minute.
Okay.
I'm going to move in between Pierce and Buzzkill
Okay.
with like one hand up and just in a protective stance, not attacking, not doing anything. I don't know if there's social challenges in this game or not, but
There's persuasion checks, popularity checks.
so yeah, I'll tell her, please stop harming my friend, please.
Okay. Pip, what would you like to do?
Hmm. I'd like to try to reassure her that we're on the run too. But my popularity is terrible.
Well, everybody says because you're all mutants.
Well, yeah, but
So, but because
I could try.
yeah, well, because everybody's popularity is so close, it essentially means you can assist Lodestone.
Sure.
So that would bump his from 25 is still excellent, I think.
25 is still excellent. Yep.
Yep.
Just at the cusp.
Yep. So it would push you up to remarkable.
Because I'm clearly immune.
Yeah. So you guys can both try that. She is going to try to move and get away from people that she thinks might be out to harm her. But you guys go first, so you can make a yellow intensity popularity roll.
At remarkable, I need a 66. I'll spend karma. Because we're trying to save people here, right?
Yep.
And how do I assist with that?
You just use your action to assist, and because your popularity is within one rank of his, he gets +1 column shift.
Oh, excellent.
Oh, 97.
Wow.
Ooh,
Still cost 10, though.
it still costs 10, but that is a red result. All right. So yeah, so you step forward, and the two of you are like, calm down. We're not, we're here to help. We're here to, Lodestone's kind of like, look at me. I'm not one of them, sort of thing. And Pip's like, we're on the run as well. She does translocate slightly. But she does kind of drop that crushing power on Buzzkill. He is unconscious, but has not yet taken any endurance loss.
That's good.
Gurgle.
She's like, stay away. I'm not going back.
We're not trying to
Back
take
to-
you anywhere. We're trying to help you.
That's what the other people said.
Well, we're not like other people. But can I check on my friend?
Yes.
Can I slap him awake, or is it just time-based? think it's time based.
He's unconscious. You can do a basically you can make a reason check, I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any medical talents or anything, they'll give you column shifts.
No, I'm only good at stealing stuff.
Okay.
But I can make a reason check. Nope.
Nope. You're like, come on, buddy, come on, wake up, wake up, wake up. And he's semi-conscious. You can tell he's alive. He's like groaning a little bit. It
I
just,
don't want to go to school today.
yeah, yeah. And it feels like you got hit by a truck.
Your grandmother's not here. Okay, all right. Miss Pierce, we're here to assist as best we can.
I assume all this did a bit of noise so I could catch up.
Yes, yeah. Just kind of looking at the three of you, four of you now. What do you want?
If I may, it's kind of sucky being alone in this town, and when I was alone, I'd like someone to extend a hand. So we thought that maybe you need a help.
And she'll kind of come forward a little bit. I need food. I need to leave.
What are you running from?
She kind of looks around, and as she comes forward, and you can see that, I mean, the clothes that she's wearing very obviously came from, like not even like Goodwill, like from a dumpster, sort of thing. But you can see there are definite like bruises on her arms and on her legs. What look like manacle marks on her wrists. The the group that I met when I got to the city, they said they said that they could help me. They said that they could help me get away, and they turned me over, and they take us not to the camps, and they did experiments, like needles and samples.
Oh, what the that's look like people I want to fuck up. Lowstone, we with me on that?
Well, I'm curious who the people were that turned her over and where she ended up for sure.
Tracy, what's going on?
If somebody's kidnapping people in this town and trying to experiment on them, I want to fuck them up.
And first, we have to make sure that the lady's safe, hidden.
You're right. You're right. She needs some food. She needs some clothes. She needs a place to hide. I assume you don't have a place where you want to get to?
I was going to try to get to the border. I was on my way there, but well, small town girl, big city, I guess.
Yeah, I cannot abandon New York City. My family's still stuck somewhere here. But maybe we can give you a hand to get someplace safe. The north should be a good idea.
I can get there. I just need to recover my strength. Escaping took a lot. I've never transported that far.
John, can you acquire
Going up,
sufficient
Tracy?
food and water for Miss Pierce here.
Yeah, I can get a bit more. We got we got food enough for us for a couple of days. Pretty sure I can trade up some more. You said
Thank you.
you said you needed a place to rest.
My ability to move. I can do short distances easily, but long distances take me a couple of days to recover. But it's hard to rest properly when you don't have a safe place to sleep. So
Well, we don't have much, but we do have a place that's relatively safe.
Still
Enough
need to buy
for a day or so.
Still need to buy a mattress. Yeah.
well,
Let me try to get some more food, and we can try to do something about that.
okay.
Make sure you check for peaches.
Yep, I remember the cobbler. I mean, I'd like a piece too.
Okay. So with your resources down to good, you do actually have to roll to acquire more food. Just need to get a good result. Perfect. So yeah, so you do get a couple more assortment canned goods, and another resource roll to see whether your resources drop or not. Nope, you're maintaining where you are, but you do pick up a couple more days worth of food.
Could I include into that like picking up some clothing that would fit her better?
Sure. She's like, thank you. And she'll look over at Buzzkill. She's like, I'm sorry. You said friends, and then I saw them watching us, and
it's all good. Did I drop my meat on a stick?
You dropped everything. Mainly you.
It's like prom night all over again.
it's like, I hope it's not too severe.
Oh, it's not my first concussion.
Yeah, when
It's all good. Please don't do that again.
well, sorry, I thought that you were like, like the other people I met.
I'm just a dude. That hurt. It's all good. All good. It's behind us.
He breaks very easy. He's very tiny.
Not as tiny as he could be.
But thank you, I guess. My name's Olive. I don't really. I was thinking that if I joined the Resistance, my codename could be Singularity because I can make things really heavy.
That would make some sense.
That's a good name. Like it.
And people here call me Lodestone.
Oh, do you make things heavy too?
I'm magnetic.
Oh. Oh, okay. I was thinking LOAD. Okay.
Oh, I see.
It's a great
No,
day.
yes, well.
Right.
Shall we get you some rest and
I have no.
Yes, that. Thank you. Again.
We may have to travel through the sewers. I assume you don't have identification.
Um, I do not. No, I do. I met somebody when I first arrived. That was helpful. That's why I thought the other people were too. But hindsight, I suppose. I mean, the first person I met was nice to me, so I assumed the second people were going to be nice to me, and then they weren't. So I assumed that the third people I met were not going to be nice, and it turns out that they are.
We're gonna get you some rest first, but if you could point us to the people who tried to experiment on you or the place they brought you, we might ruffle some feather.
It was a laboratory. I mean, the first people that grabbed me were just, you know, they took me by surprise. They knocked me out. They, honestly, I mean, aside from what I did to your friend there, I just don't have a whole lot of experience with violence. Um, and then when I woke up, I was in a lab, but I managed to regain consciousness enough that I could. I moved around a little bit. They experimenting. They were taking samples from me and from others, but I think we were underwater. I saw like a big window that looked out into a lake or a river. I could transport back there, but that would take me a couple of days.
Would you be willing to do such a
I don't
thing?
have a light.
Um, I don't really want to go back there by myself, and I can't take other people with me. Actually, I've never tried to take other people with me, but I don't think I could do it.
Is there a way that you can narrow down where this place is? As John says, we take a dim view on people experimenting on mutants.
I'm fairly perceptive, so I think I could probably. And let me think about it some, and I can probably get something together for you.
So, Dandy, we are
Let's get you some
experiencing
rest.
more headaches than.
Alrighty. Um, so, are you guys traveling through the sewers, or are you using your ID cards?
What do you think, guys?
Well, she has her IDs. We could try it. But I would not get into the park. I'd get into the sewer, like a little distance, and do the last part by the sewer.
She's been on TV, right?
She has.
Yeah, we don't want, and they're on the lookout for her. Let's do the sewers.
Yeah, let's do the sewers.
I can try to materialize like a boat-like thing. If we want to avoid the water.
That'd be nice.
You want to sail down the sewers?
Better than sloshing and, getting bear trapped again.
If we find a big piece of metal, we could put it on the boat, and you could track it. I don't know.
All right, we're doing sewers.
All right. So yeah, from here, it's not terribly far to Hell's Kitchen, so I'm not going to make you roll or anything. And then from Hell's Kitchen, you know the route to Central Park. So you're starting to basically map out like a little area around the sewers, basically from the Hudson River to Hell's Kitchen, from Hell's Kitchen to the park. and then from the park down into like the warehouse district. So you're starting to get a feel for things after spending the better part of a day in the sewers.
Yeah, that's the goal, right?
And you managed to get back to the park with no issue. Kind of set up your little where you've got like the few meager belongings that you had set aside. Set up your new generator. It's kind of nice that you've got a source of power now. You probably picked up like some little like Christmas lights and that sort of thing, just so you had something to use the generator on. But yeah, it's starting to look a little bit homey.
Wow, progress.
We had a hot plate from last time. We can finally plug in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a hot plate for warmth and warm food.
But
Yeah.
having settled in for the evening while she gets some rest, I think we'll take a little bit of a bio break
Okay.
and be back in a few minutes.
All righty. I think I've owned 3 of them.
I think I still have the Hex adventure in my closet here somewhere.
All right. So, 1 sec here. You guys are lucky. The sentinels are rolling like shit and they're searching.
Well, I mean, sentinels are a problem, right? Once you engage them, they start learning. So
Yep. It's not even that they start learning, it's the fact that
they all start learning.
it gets broadcast back to the base. When you run into a sentinel, you have to defeat it in 3 turns.
And they're no joke.
But yeah, there's a like a little flow chart for as the sentinels search around. But so far they have not located your base. They came very, very close. But they have not yet located you.
Wouldn't call it a base per se.
Yeah, it's a base for all intents and purposes.
New map?
I figure if you guys are hanging out in the sewers, I'd throw together a little sewer map. Alright, so while we're waiting for Nita, is there anything folks want to do or just waiting until the next morning, basically?
Wait till the next morning so I can heal up a little.
I was thinking of setting up the generator, putting a bit of light, trying to make the place a bit more homey.
Perfect.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything really on the go. I mean, the goal is just to let this girl rest up and try to get her out, right?
Yeah. Alright, you heal equal to your endurance rate.
I didn't take any damage. I just got knocked out, right?
Right. So 10 turns after a character takes damage, he regains health equal to its endurance rank, provided he is not knocked unconscious. If a character is damaged, you heal your endurance rank in the hour following the less damage. If a character takes damage further during that period, time is measured from that point. Rate is doubled by bed rest and medical supervision. So for Tony from the punchy sticks, you would heal equal to your endurance rank.
Yeah, so that heals me up full.
And I am going to need an excellent intensity endurance roll.
Excellent, eh? My endurance is remarkable.
So you will need to get a green result.
Is that a karma thing? Probably. Sounds like disease to me. Yeah, I'll spend karma.
Okay.
Didn't need it, but
You only rolled an 18.
oh, I read that wrong. I thought it was an 81. Oh god, this could be expensive. Okay, so remarkable. And I need green.
Yeah.
41.
So
That's 23.
23.
So much math in this game.
There is. But I will take this opportunity to give people karma. You would get 40. Everybody gets 25 karma. So it's 25 for your advancement pool and then 25 for spendable.
Okay.
How are we gonna record that?
And then just put it under, put it under the description tab or something. And I posted to the Discord that I changed how much karma costs to advance.
Yeah, I saw that. So maybe we'll keep the tally on the character sheet up at the top as the expendable one, and then make the
Yeah,
growth one based on a new chart or something.
Yeah, just throw it on your character sheet there someplace because your spendable one's going to change a lot more than your.
So 25 and 25.
Yep.
And the one we already have, it's all spendable.
If you want to throw some of that into your advancement, you certainly can.
Nope.
Okay.
And I'm debating giving a further discount. Like if you develop a new power, if it's a power that's listed as optional or bonus for a power you already have, I may discount it a bit. Just because it's it's thematically within the wheelhouse.
And can we use the spendable karma as growth karma?
I would say sure.
Okay.
Just this way, you've got some that is guaranteed set aside for spending.
Yeah, Marvel does a good job at slowing character growth compared to DC.
And to raise the power, we need to raise every point until we are to the next category.
Yep.
Okay, good. Well, from what I see, everything costs a whole bunch of karma to rise.
It does. You're for powers, power stunts are the way to advance your powers much more efficiently than buying new powers. Because each time you perform the power stunt, it costs you 100 XP, but once you've done it 10 times, then you have that power stunt going forward free of charge.
Which is total 1,000 karma.
It is.
And we got 50. So takes a while.
Yep. All right. So you guys get some rest, some relaxation. People heal up some. Lodzo manages to fight off whatever infection was trying to set into his leg. When you get up in the morning, all of his basically, it looks like she's basically gotten a scrap of paper and a pencil and kind of jotted down some coordinates, some distances. It's the way my translocation power works is I'm pretty good at figuring out distance and direction. So these are directions from where I ended up. So nearest I can tell, I was right. It is some sort of underwater facility located in the Hudson River, probably about a mile or two offshore.
Oh, that's probably the raft.
Maybe. That's where they took me and others and were doing medical studies.
From what you told me, they look like they deserve to be fucked up, and I mean, we could use a bit of better tech here.
And maybe rescue the others that are there.
Oh shit! Because you escaped, I just assumed that the place was free, but you're right. There are probably some people stuck there. Why am I not thinking about those things?
Yeah, no, when I translocate, I don't think I can take other people.
Well, getting to that particular spot will be difficult. But maybe
Can you
not
get to that?
impossible. I think our first priority is to ensure that you are safely out of the city. Is your intent, yes?
Yes, I got the good trust, so I think I can get outside the city, or a good distance outside the city.
All right.
So,
We'll slap bag together so you can have some food for the road.
thank you. And if I get across the border, I'll let them know that you guys helped me. And
Well, I'm not looking to leave town, but any help to try to make it a bit better for people who are stuck here would be appreciated. Just tell them we're still fighting.
okay, I will.
And somebody's
All
on the
right, well,
ground.
let's lead you out. You don't want to go this way, or are you just going to
Smith's on the
blend?
ground, everybody else.
I was just going to leave from here. That way, I don't have to worry about accidentally bringing any attention to you.
Just make sure that you don't end up in the park.
Okay. So yeah, she kind of closes her eyes and concentrates for a second, and then blink. Oh, indeed, I think you were still AFK, but everybody gets 25 karma for spendable and 25 karma for their advancement pool.
So what we've learned from that is beating up cops is a better way to get karma.
Well, encourage the behavior you want to see.
Well, she did give us information about a place where we could get some lab equipment. A couple of other people we can save too.
I mean, we're gonna have to.
You said something about the raft, but that don't ring a bell for me.
I'm not sure. We'll have to maybe see what we can see, but how are we gonna get to a place in the river?
I mean, I could make a boat, but I would rely on like basic thing before we try to do it with powers.
Yeah, I can't fly that many people over. Unless you're all willing to shrink.
Following
So
it?
I
Or
believe
what?
could
we've
keep a
discussed
watch.
this.
We could keep a watch and try to catch when they bring stuff to that boat to that place.
That's a good idea. If
Maybe
only
we
we
can
had somebody who
eyeball.
was good as a spy. And I'll look over Anita's character, at Miss Plum.
What are you looking at me for?
You were very small.
I'm not that far below average height. Thank you very much.
You can be.
I can be. That's very true. Yeah, I can.
Well, perhaps we should do some scouting then. See what we
There wa-
can see.
There was a couple of mutant that I heard were got attacked in the street. Maybe it's people trying to grab people to sell to that place. I mean, right now we can try to investigate to try to find the people who do the ferry to that place, or people who grab people for that place. Or we can also try to hit the big place for scavenging, like Stark Tower or the Baxter Building or anything.
What about these Doom bots? Wouldn't Doom be a great ally? A great ally.
It's not what my family tells me.
Well, to be fair, Black Bolt doesn't tell you anything.
I mean, I'm a nephew, so at the very least, Doom's bad probably came up once. Well, but yeah, Black Bolt doesn't actually tell me anything. Because then I'd be dead.
We got a couple of scavenging spot and things we could do, but we need to investigate them to try to find like a trail.
Right. So here's what I'm thinking, guys. We have to.
Smith's in that building.
I mean, it's 10:30, so we're not getting too much game in after this. But we have to figure out whether we want to go after resources or we have to go after saving people on the raft or the raft, quote unquote.
Well, the oversea things seems like a good target, but we need more info, so we need to case the joint and try to spot people going in and out of it. But if we could scavenge someplace, we could get some tool in exchange, and maybe with some tools we could like make better stuff to make our mission more doable, like some actual body armor.
Yeah, I think the problem is that we don't have any intel on anything, right? So
Right. So we need intel first. Scavenging is probably our primary thing. We don't know much going on in that. I'll call it the raft, but we don't know that for sure. And we
Maybe
don't
if
know
we
what the Doom bots are doing here.
maybe if we focus on scavenging, we could like gather info through it.
Also, we have to kill Logan.
Yeah, the best bet I think we have for that is if we could get my lab equipment back. If I was able to give myself some power, maybe I can take away his regeneration.
I mean, Logan's not that hard to kill in the scheme of things.
Seems the problem is keeping him dead.
I'm talking to OOC, but I mean, it's Logan. Logan's not that big of a threat in Marvel.
All depends on who's writing them.
True.
So maybe I'd go for scavenging right now and gathering information so we can try to get a end of the trail for either the underwater place or like the people grabbing and smashing mutants.
Yeah, I mean, if we
I
went
know.
to
O'Neill,
Stark
you
Tower
also have
or,
your suppressor
or the
on,
Baxter
which you
Building
will dis-
and could get into a place where the rest of the scavengers couldn't get to, that's a massive amount of resource.
I mean, I can ride the Electron Highway to get to rooms that have not been breached, as long as they're copper wiring or anything that electricity or information can ride through. I can get there. And Buzzkill fly.
I mean, at this point, if we got a chicken, we'd be doing well, right?
Oh, that would be nice. A chicken.
So,
Maybe someone left some chicken around. I think Venom used to have some chicken around.
You know who probably has some chickens? Doom. You know, probably has some technology? Doom. You know, probably has a here's a little button you can wear and Sentinels will never find you? Doom.
I
so
mean,
what?
there's
Friends
also
What?
the
with Doom.
flaming. There's probably the flaming head guy also that could help.
Uncle Sam's the bad guy now. Let's make friends with Doom.
No,
Doom.
that was
Doesn't
a
that
terrible
ring a
idea.
bell about it being like strange?
Doom only wants to conquer the world and the universe because he thinks he's firmly convinced he's the most qualified person to be in charge. It's not
You might
because
not be wrong.
it's not because he wants to torture people or put them in camps or anything. He thinks people would be better off if he was in charge. That's fucking Doom. In this case, he's right.
Yeah, he is.
So the other thing, right, is that we know where the Sorcerer Supreme lives.
No
We
worries.
just don't know
Okay,
who that
so
is.
Yeah, I have no contacts with the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, that's the only thing we can just go up and like ring the bell and see what happened.
So best case scenario, it's Steven, and worst case scenario, it's Wanda.
Well, worst case scenario would be like Nightmare or Mordo or something like that. But I'm kind of hoping Wong or Clea or something. Maybe even Ileana.
I mean, obviously
Yeah.
our PCs don't know any of this stuff, but
Obviously, our PCs know none of this shit. My PC probably doesn't know magic exists. Probably just thinks it's more mutant shit.
All right. So what's the plan?
I think probably resource gathering. I think let's see if we can find a high tech place and raid it.
We could start by gathering the pieces of Sentinel in the park, and
Yeah.
then like Baxter Building and the Stark Tower you keep mentioning. So we could try to see if there's place in there that we are the only one able to reach because of powers.
that's probably the best bet.
Yeah, old shield storage locations, Mad Thinkers bases, Hank Pym's base, anything that we can think of that would be
And
tech.
if we can find some stuff, maybe we can also find some information. Like right now, we need stuff and information. Because I'd like to try to find the flaming head guy and the underwater place, but we need information for that and probably gear before we assault a place like that.
Yeah. Like an abandoned AIM safe house would be like the would be money for us.
I mean, a Stark Tower or a Baxter building that hasn't been completely rated would be fucking good too, right?
Yeah, what's the odds of that? But I mean, those would be the first two targets, right? For us, anyway, for anybody, so including us.
And regardless of how big something is that we find, we can always shrink it down to take it out of wherever it is.
Right?
And the Baxter Building still has the time machine. Maybe we can do, days of present future. I don't know.
If it has a time machine, we can fit it in a DeLorean and try to use it.
So, Chris, I think the goal is that we're going to look for stuff, right? So we need to put eyes on Baxter Building, Stark Tower, um, Sorcerer Spring. We're just going to look around. Like we need intel before we make a decision.
Yeah, we're not looking for a fight yet.
All right.
No, definitely.
Also, we'd like to see if how they're getting to and from the raft or whatever that prison is out in the river, out in the lake. Or
And scavenging the pieces of Sentinels, that's not a bad idea.
that's an excellent idea.
Mhm.
Just make sure there's no tracking shit on there.
Maybe we can understand how they works, or maybe we can use some parts to do stuff.
All right. So what order are you doing things in?
The Sentinel piece are in the park, so we could start by doing that.
Yep, that would be first.
All right.
Sure.
Perfect. All right. So yes, there are bits and pieces of Sentinels scattered all over the park. Big pieces, little pieces, whatever wrecked these things, literally just tore them apart. But they're not all jaggedy and stuff. They're very, very smooth, torn apart.
I think we know what
Yeah.
happened to them.
Big blades went through those.
How would you like to go about scavenging Sentinel parts?
Well,
Start at the outside and work our way in.
so Lodestone is like Tony Stark level smart. He doesn't have the talents, but he's like natively that smart.
Yep.
So I think we just start picking from the outside, like Anita said, and work our way in. And
Reason checks to see if we can identify what's important and take that shit.
Okay. I was thinking more along the lines of without access to, cutting torches and the like, how are you penetrating through the Sentinel hides?
oh, I have magnetism of amazing. So
Okay.
I
Maybe
assume
with
that
electric control, we can do some blowtorch thingy.
Okay. So yeah, using electrical generation as like a welding torch would be a power stunt. So it costs you 100 karma to do so. But even without that, with the magnetism and stuff, you can start pulling the panels back and exposing the innards and kind of gathering what's important, what's not important, what looks like a circuit board. Oh, look, this looks like it might be part of a repulsor blast array, that sort of thing. So I will get. I'll get everybody to give me a reason check. Or alternately, if you're using your powers in any sort of creative ways, you can roll your power rank instead of your reason.
And what's the difficulty?
We'll say this is remarkable intensity.
And 2 less is green, or is that free?
2 less is green.
And sorry, you said which stat are we using?
Either reason, or if you can think of a way your powers would help you pull Sentinel parts apart, then you can roll your power instead.
Yeah, my reason is higher than my diminution.
I think I'd use energy solidification to try to make myself some tools.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna roll remarkable. 67.
67 is a yellow. So you managed to grab some things that are worth. Basically, I'm going to look at how many people succeed, and that'll determine the resource value of what you get.
Okay, I'm gonna roll off amazing, but I'm gonna spend karma.
Okay.
It's yellow, still cost me 10 though.
Yep.
I'm rolling in amazing and spending karma.
Okay.
For the record, I am keeping track of how many times I use my powers, so when we hit that magic number, I can pass out.
Okay. 18. So it's going to be. It's going to cost you 13 karma there, Yorick.
Okay.
I rolled an remarkable and got an 82, so I am firmly in the yellow.
You are.
They
firmly
think
in
you're
the
playing
yellow.
Call of Cthulhu.
Maybe. They definitely don't seem to have realized that I'm playing this game yet.
Yeah. So Anita and Tony both got yellow, and everybody else got green. Okay. Perfect. So yeah, you guys spend quite some time tracking down sentinel pieces here and there. It's like, oh, look, this looks like an arm. Oh, this might be like a mostly intact, gas vent. Oh, I found a leg over here, and it looks like the jet thruster is still relatively intact. Oh, I found what looks like it might have been the fuel canister for that. You know, a little bit of like the knee bones connected to the shin bone sort of thing. And there's probably bits and pieces to like 4 or 5 sentinels here. Enough that you guys can all bump your resources 1 rank, assuming you want to throw this into the salvage pile.
I mean, since crafting stuff is done with the salvage pile, I think it works.
Yep.
I'm okay with it.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'll gladly go from typical to something much better.
Good.
Yeah, I think so.
I'll be happy to go from a feeble to a poor.
Do I go from excellent to remarkable?
You do.
Woohoo!
But as you're shrinking things and pulling things apart magnetically, and creating, electrical solidified electrical tools. Lodestone, you notice a dark shadow move overhead fairly quickly.
How big is it?
3-ish stories.
He'll motion for everyone to stop doing what they're doing.
Freeze frame.
And then basically not far from you, like assume these little statues here on the map are like various assorted sentinel pieces. You see a fully intact sentinel and 2 smaller, like roughly human-sized figures in armor just kind of land probably about 50 yards or so from you.
Shit.
And what would you guys like to do?
I'm going to look where Lodestone's looking, since I've never heard him curse before.
There's a very big robot thing and 2 smaller humanoid armored forms that just drop out of the sky.
Apparently, I don't own a token on that page, so I don't see anything.
I don't see anything either.
I see something.
What?
Wait, all I see is statues, which I assume are the shattered skeleton or shattered.
I'm only seeing me.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, all I see is me as well.
I mean, I see some of the map, but
There we go.
oh, wow.
There we go.
Mandroids.
And a fucking sentinel. I would like to roll for initiative. That's what I like to do.
Well, what-
Actually, I'd like to declare actions.
Yes.
I'd like to make an endurance check so I don't shit myself.
So yes, declarations.
I'm going to jam communications again,
Okay.
and I'm going to fly up in the air. Not that mandroids can't fly, sentinels can, but they all have energy weapons. So, but I still feel better in the air.
Yeah. You actually, all three of them were flying.
Oh, okay.
That's a great token for that sentinel. I am going to magnetize the shit out of that sentinel, which I think will be inconvenient for the mandroids.
All right. Yorick, what would you like to do?
Is there any wire I could jump to try to ride to get a bit farther away?
Yeah, there is. I mean, there's power that runs through the park and stuff. So.
So I'd use my movement to move a bit away to try to lure them out of the park, and I want to activate um, energy manifestations so I can make myself an armor.
Okay. Nita, what would you like to do?
I would look around for the nearest statue that I think I can duck behind, so none of the three of them can see me.
Okay. So yeah, so like I said, all of the statues here represent various assorted large pieces of sentinels. So. All right. The sentinel is sees the guy kind of like looking up at the sky and is going to try to hit Buzzkill with his grapple cables. And both of the mandroids see a very obvious mutant and are going to try to hit Lodestone with a neutralizer beam.
Alrighty, initiative time.
Initiative time.
Woohoo!
All right. So you guys are up first. In whatever order you would like.
I'm just
Can
gonna
you
roll.
move and act at the same time?
You can, yes.
I'm just flying up in the air and jamming communications, right?
Perfect. How far up would you like to fly? You can. What's your endurance?
My endurance or my true flight?
Your endurance, because flight has an acceleration
Excellent.
parabolic, so.
Excellent.
So you can accelerate 2 areas per round. So 2, then 4, then 6, then 8, so on and so forth.
2 areas up.
Okay. You kind of throw out your electrical jamming.
95.
Ooh, good roll. Okay. So the air fills with a bunch of static electricity, jamming communications very, very successfully. Right.
All right, so I'm going to move to get some cover,
Okay.
like here-ish,
He died.
Okay.
and then I'm gonna magnetize the hell out of that sentinel.
Okay. That would be a monstrous intensity feat.
Monstrous.
Yep.
Really should have went after the other ones. Okay, so first time fighting the sentinel, and I'm amazing. Wow, I can't even do it.
Nope. His composite armor is not ferrous enough for you to find anything to magnetize.
Right, so I believe I can try to change my action, or is that my action to realize that?
No, you can try to change your action. It's a fighting feat to try to change your action.
Fighting. Okay, my fighting's remarkable.
Actually, wait, I think it's an agility feat. I should check that.
I think it's fighting. I will absolutely take agility. So reaching out, he realizes that he can't interact with this thing.
Changing an action requires a yellow agility feat.
Agility.
The bullets that he
Okay.
has
Yellow
is
agility
Luger,
means I need
and
61.
a,
I'll spend karma.
550.
Okay.
Very expensive karma.
But he
And that means I could do a different action, but it costs more, right?
It's a -1 column shift.
So I will blast the sentinel with magnetism.
Okay.
Just trying to
There's,
figure out
that looks
exactly
like
what
an
I'm
opening
rolling
straight
here.
Fighting. Or sorry, agility. Agility to hit.
Agility. Okay. Two is probably a miss.
What's your agility at -1?
I don't think it matters, but oh yeah, it does, right? Incredible -1 is remarkable. 2 is a blue. Oh my god.
It's a blue. You are dazed.
Oh no.
Oh no, that's probably not going to be good. All right. That leaves us with John and Pip.
How much distance can I make with my my power?
You can go anywhere that you would like to go, pretty much, because you travel at the speed of electricity.
Okay, my plan is to try to take them away from the park.
Okay. So you're just gonna zip someplace. Zoop. Okay. Right. And you get your solidify some of that electricity around you for some armor.
Yep.
Okay, Anita. You are muted.
Sorry about that. I'm going to run down to this bit of Sentinel by Lodestone
Okay.
and then try to shrink myself.
Okay. Zoop. Okay. No problem at all. You are now like 3 inches tall and hiding behind a giant statue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the Sentinel is going to try to grab onto Buzzkill. Ooh, an 83.
You
got
weren't
me.
that close. It's fine.
What is excellent fighting? And an 83. Ooh, you are grabbed. So these cables like shoot out of the Sentinel's hand, wrap around Buzzkill, holding him fast.
Oh no.
And the Mandroids are going to shoot nullifier beams. They only have good agility. Goes down by 1 because of the cover. So they have typical. Oop. That is a bullseye. Ooh. And that is a stun.
Oh my god.
So you need to make an endurance roll against the stun.
That's me.
No, that's lodestone.
Okay.
Endurance is remarkable. $19's not going to do it.
Nope, you are stunned for 1 to 10 rounds.
Looks like we'll be finding out the vault sooner than we thought.
I knew I'd find it, Walt.
So that is going to be 6 turns.
And he was our power guy.
We have 6 minutes left. I'm sure it will go fine.
All right. Okay. And since you got hit by 2 neutralizers, all of your powers drop by 3 column shifts.
Okay.
That is them. So yeah, you see these 2 beams strike a lodestone, and he seems to get like a little bit weaker. Kind of staggers a bit. He has his dazed look in his eyes. The Sentinel has its cables wrapped around Buzzkill. Pip has like shrunk down. I'm pretty sure nobody's seen her. John has basically grabbed the electrical cable and is like hoping to kind of lure them away. He's like, "Here I go, come get me," sort of thing. Kind of zips off into the distance. But that seems like a suitable cliffhanger on which to leave things.
Yeah. Oops.
Oh.
That seems like it makes a very good like final issue panel.
Yeah, I think it does.
Ouch.
So we will call it there until next week.
Thank you very much. I love this game. I look forward to it.
Yeah, it's a good game.
A very nice cliffhanger.
So your first Sentinel, and your magnetic guy is currently depowered and stunned.
Yeah, the guy that could fight a Sentinel is not fighting a Sentinel.
Yeah, with lodestone down. I'm just okay. Do I try to fight or do I go get help?
So we will pick this up next week.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris.
Talk to you
Appreciate the
tomorrow.
game.
Have a good night, guys. See you tomorrow.
See you in the next one.
Thanks for the game. See you tomorrow.
Yep.